quorum present? 3. We have quorum. Yeah, 3 is a quorum. We have 5. Sure. We're good. But we'll check with the applicant anyways. We have 3 cases in front of us this evening. And the first one, case number 1506, is a variance application pursuant to zoning article 7 to allow for the installation of a swimming pool and deck within the 20-foot side setback at 6 West Street in the Village District. U5 and 63. Mr. and Mrs. D'Alessio?
Yes.
Are you okay with us continuing with just a quorum of 3?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, oh, yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, let the record show that. I've reviewed the application. It appears to be complete. Do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Well, the only reason why I'm asking for the variance, number one, is there's an easement with a sewer pipe going through my backyard from my back neighbor, because I do have enough area to put the pool in, if that pipe wasn't there. But my concern is for my neighbor, that if something ever happens with the pipe, that I would, they'd have to take the pool down, of course, and rip up all what I put down and fix the pipe. I mean, I have concern for my neighbor. That's the reason why I'm asking for the variance,
I think everything else was pretty much on the,
Yeah. Well, according to your letter, you mentioned the easement issue, but you also mentioned that you have a son that's handicapped
Correct.
and could use the pool for
Pool.
He had a stroke, so it's kind of, pool therapy is expensive to rent a pool at like the hotel down the road and have a therapist come in, and it would benefit him to be able to get better movement for his leg and his arm and continue forward.
So this is an 18-foot, that's the diameter?
Yes, 18-foot round. Crosswise, it's 18 feet,
Diameter is
52 high.
18 feet,
Yep,
52 inches high,
yes, sir.
and your deck is the closest portion to is closest to the neighbor's line?
It's gonna be, well, I already have a deck right there now. So it's just gonna be below that deck, that you come down 5 stairs and go onto the deck to get in the pool, because they send a ladder that goes up like a U, but he can't climb a ladder to get into the pool. He has to have some kind of a platform to get into.
Is there any kind of a stockade or privacy fence
The
between?
people next door have a fence.
yeah, they have a picket, it's kind of like a picket fence, it goes all the way around their property line.
That's all you had to add, then I'll go ahead and open this up to public sentiment. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor, a neighbor, or butters, anything?
Jerry,
The only one here is
Jerry,
Jerry.
our corner of our property, I think, the
Yes.
back corner kind of,
Could you give us your name for the record?
Jerry Davis from Tilton.
Thank you, Jerry. Go ahead.
When you put that pool in, you're gonna have a fence around it. I hate to see somebody get in and drown or
It
something.
doesn't need a fence, it's
It don't
52
need it.
inches tall. They can't climb in it.
Okay, I
the,
just,
but,
some pools have fences around it, and people can't get into the pool and swim, and, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you a question on it, because I was on the fire department, and I saw it, so.
yeah, well, one of the things that we know is the only way you'll be able to get in the pool is from the lower new deck that we put on, and the deck door will have a lock to prevent, because we have
Okay.
We have 2 grandchildren.
We have grandchildren and stuff like that, and our neighbor has 2 boys, but they're almost always in the fence, which is a locked gate. Sometimes we open it to go back and forth,
Okay,
but,
I just asked, that's why I wanted to ask.
yeah.
Because, I see.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that, Jerry. Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Very well. Turn it back to the board then. Are there any of the board members have any issues?
Only thing I can think of is, that's gonna contain quite a bit of water. Well, for the winter time, I assume you're gonna drain it?
Well, I don't have to. It's a soft pool. I can leave it up or I can take it down, but I'm gonna have an insurance policy anyway.
Well, I'm just getting at the fact that if you drain it, where are you gonna drain it to?
Well, that's the thing. I probably wouldn't drain it. I'd probably leave it up, but, I mean, I don't have to. I can put chemicals in it to take the chlorine out of it if I had to.
If for some reason, sir, we did have to drain it, there is just, let's see, one house over from us, which is a brook that runs from, I think it's down
It
Cedar
crosses-
Street
it
on
crosses
West
Chestnut
Street. And not that I'm saying that we would empty it in there, but I know that we're gonna have to pay quite a bit of money for water, for the pool. I mean, for the first initial thing, so we like the idea that it can be removable or taken down, if we wanna take it down for the winter. But, you know, it's kind of an investment in the water. It might just be something where you let it down, you cover it, and keep it up for the next year.
Okay, my only point that I'm getting at here is that you wouldn't be relying upon running it across your neighbor's property to drain the water.
No, 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 no.
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 Because there can be things that come up, such as a leak or something like that, that you might have to drain it anyway, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully you don't encounter that. I mean, they don't have that long a lifespan. At some point in time, it's gonna have to be emptied.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
yeah, I think that one has 7 to 15 years, and last year we had a little soft one of those little inflatable ones, for a while, and it did get a little hole in it, and surprisingly, they made kits that you fix a pool with under the
Underwater.
water.
Water?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, so you don't have to really drain it, but, I mean, it's a good point, thank you.
Hey, Jerry, I'm gonna have to find you. Who buys the pizza, yeah.
Okay, well, but if you were to drain it, you mentioned that there's a place that you drain it to.
Yeah, there is a river, one house down that runs,
You could run a hose over there.
yeah.
Well, I would, first of all, I'd have the water tested to make sure there's no chemicals in it, because I don't dump chemicals in the river. First of all, that, you can't dump chemicals in the river. And of course, it's got chlorine in it, you know that.
I don't know if chlorine would present a problem. They put that in drinking water for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Well, if I was to drain it, I could just pump it right up to the street and put it in the catch basin, put a hose right there in front of my house if I had to.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I
So
would
we
make
have
sure
two
that the
options,
water was...
one would be down and one would be to pump it
Right.
up to the.
And my neighbor doesn't have any problems with that. All our neighbors around us are real nice people.
We've gotten water in our cellar before and things like that, and our neighbors, so we always kind of know where to direct the water when we're pumping it out. That part of the hill gets a lot of water.
Okay. I'm just curious as to what the plan was and how.
Well, we'll be,
dealt with.
we'll be safe about it.
How many years do you anticipate having this pool? Any idea?
Till I move and go to a retirement home. I don't know.
I'm thinking probably 3 to 5-ish, or I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm thinking for the investment we're making in it, you know, and the landscaping we want to do and stuff. I'm thinking it's probably something more than a year, probably 2 or, you know, probably like 3 to 5. I mean, I think there can be some things that influence our decision to, that, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand.
How long is
I
the,
think the pool, I
Can't
think
make that call.
the pool life is,
like 15 years? It's a real good pool. It's one of the best soft-grip pools you
The
can
soft one,
buy.
is that the one that they show the elephant in the commercial?
No, this has got a metal rim that goes around it too,
Oh.
for stability.
It's called.
I know the ones you talk about, they blow the top of it up and it goes up as the water goes up.
Oh, that's okay. I don't-
This one here, no, this has got a metal ring that goes around it and metal legs that go down, but it's a soft pool. It's just a better design.
Yeah, sturdier one.
All right, should we have any further?
Any other questions?
I don't have anything.
There's nothing else, then I'll close.
I shot that thing off once there.
Is that pizza and beer at this point? More than one pizza.
Jerry, what is the pizza? You were supposed to buy pizza
I
today.
know it, yeah. No, what town north?
You'll get it turned off when you're at home and people are trying to reach you, and then it will be off.
That's not here.
That's the way of it.
Well, I think we'll take a second then and look through the criteria for the variance. Let's see, item 1, granting variance should not be contrary to public interest. Variance will grant the spirit of the ordinance will be observed. And not pose a threat to others. G, visual aesthetic concern. Granting the variance will do substantial adjustments. Permits property owner to fully utilize the use of the property. Not jeopardize existing easement. No sewer line for neighbor or private. The variance was granted, values of surrounding properties will not be diminished. Property is located in a residential family neighborhood. Densely developed, obviously. So it would not be an eyesore of surrounding properties. It would be in keeping the family-oriented neighborhood. There are currently 500 properties with pools in our general neighborhood. I saw one pool on your overhead map.
Yes, that's on Chestnut Street.
Yeah. The others are camouflaged.
Up Prospect Street, around the block. the
Yeah,
other
they're
way.
up around the
Oh,
block.
I see.
Yeah.
And then the hardship there, you go into the respect for your neighbors right away, easement rather,
Yeah.
and the injury to your son. Okay, let's close, I'm gonna close to public sentiment at this time and discuss this amongst the board members, see what they wanna do with this. My concern, my own concern at this point would be that what variance is going definitely. Do we need to do that? Is there anything we should specify, change of ownership or anything like that?
Whether they live there or someone else lives there, why shouldn't they be able to have a pool?
Yeah. So that's good, that's.
I don't see that.
So that's not a problem.
I don't see it as an issue.
I don't see any conditions per se.
No, I tend to agree. There's nothing there that,
Okay, do you have any input? No? Okay. All right, well, at this point.
oh, wait, there is one other thing I forgot to ask you. We don't really have a drawing of how this is going to lay out.
Actually, I drawn a circle right on there where the
That
pool's
just
gonna
shows,
be.
that just showed the pool, it didn't show the deck.
Well, there's a deck above it, actually. The deck is going right where the pool is. I don't know if I can come over there and kind of show you.
Yeah, you got it.
Actually, there is, no, that's not the right paper.
So
I have that
it's
big-
within, here's a large copy of that.
Yeah, so what I got is, here it is.
Here's the one you're referring to.
Yeah, here's my house here. Here's the pool, here's my house. I have a deck that's right here, okay? And that deck, the next deck is dropping down 5 feet, and it's gonna be just around like 1/3 of the pool, just so we can get in and out of the water.
So it
That's
is
all.
on the inboard side too?
Yep, that's it,
Okay.
yep,
Oh,
right
it's good.
against the house.
The deck isn't in the setbacks at all, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned with earlier too.
Because that would just be an additional part of the variance, that would be the variance of anything. Because you're allowed to occupy your setbacks to a certain degree anyway.
Right, I
Okay,
understand.
just a question of understanding what your intention is to add where you're gonna put it. If you say it's not gonna be in the setbacks, then it's not an issue.
Yeah, it's gonna be right where the pool is, you know what I mean? I already have a deck there though, so I already have an
It's
upper
just gonna
deck.
be the lower,
It's just gonna be the lower part of the upper deck, that's all it is.
In-ground. Yeah.
Chairman Brown, may I speak? No, I thought the deck is going to be in the 20-foot side setback, right?
That's right, yes.
You see, that's why I'm getting at a drawing showing what it is actually that we're talking about. And if I can get Mr. DeLassio just to draw something on a piece of paper using just rectangles and a round thing showing the pool and showing where that deck is going to be, so we understand. Because when we bring a variance into play, if the deck is in the setback, that can stay there. And then if somebody in the future, for example, that owns a home, wanted to replace the deck or add to it, we would already have a record of what is there.
Right.
Okay, so if you just take 2 minutes to just kind of give me a quick little
Sketch it.
drawing as to how this whole thing's gonna lay out.
just draw it on the back. Or on this piece of paper.
Do you follow where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I thought, the way you described being underneath the deck of the house, and the deck, the pool deck would be on the inboard side, away from the setback.
Well, there will be kind of, I guess, when you call a setback, that's what abuts the neighbor.
Property line.
Right, and so the side of the deck potentially, because the pool's gonna be there and the deck, the side of the deck will be,
Within 20 feet or something wide.
yeah, within 20.
No, it's not gonna be within 20 feet, it's gonna be within 3 feet of the property line.
Yeah, 3 feet, okay.
Within 3 feet of the property line, right below
He
the deck
said
that I
within
already have
20.
there now.
Yeah, just
I already
far.
have a permit for that deck that's there when I did my addition.
But you're going to expand that, right?
I'm, yeah, but I'm not going towards the property line, I'm going in the same direction, but I'm just dropping it down 5 feet.
But it's yeah, but it's still a
It's an
little bit
extension
of an
out.
extension out. We'll just
And
draw
then
the
this is,
picture.
this is another deck that's gonna go like this.
And put the lawn chair around.
That we're dealing with.
Right, it's, see, this is what I interpreted.
And in the variance, I did write, in that top part, with a 10 by 12 deck in front of the pool. In that,
The way you read it, the deck in front of the pool placed 3 feet from neighbor property line, you don't know whether it places the pool 3 feet of the deck. It's hard to say.
I know, from mine from in front,
So I think-
I think of it this way.
Will make a big difference.
Okay,
What's that?
draw the
We'll add
picture.
that to the file.
Yeah, this is basically what, this is the neighbor's house, this is my house, this is my deck I have right now. I have a set of stairs that go down right here. So you're gonna go down like 5 stairs, and then this is gonna be the lower deck around the pool, and that's down to the property.
So this upper deck extends 3 feet to the property?
No, this one here is about 6 feet from the property line, and this one will be exactly the same, about 6 feet.
Okay.
But the pool's gonna go out towards one of the
Yeah,
property
yeah.
line. Only because I have a sewer pipe that runs here. And if I could put that pool there. I have no problem putting that pool in that pipe, I just have concern for my neighbor. If you guys ever have to dig this pipe up, someone's gonna be paying to move a pool if I don't take it down, you know what I'm saying? I just have concern for the pipe.
No, okay, I see where the check is now.
It's gonna be right below the other one.
I see that. It's between
Exactly.
your existing deck and the pool.
Yep. You know what, I would never put the deck in, because I already have a deck, but I have a handicapped son.
I
And
understand.
there's no way that he can get in there, you know? You can't climb a ladder, like that kind of a ladder. You can climb a regular, I'm gonna put a dock ladder on there, you know what a dock ladder is, like for a boat dock? I'm gonna put one of those metal ladders so he can pull himself up with bars all the way up, you know what I mean? Because he'll never be able to get out.
But he has water for some.
Just proposed, so it's clear on the back, but that's what's.
Well, this is gonna help him quite a bit with his,
This
you
is
know.
West
his-
Street up here.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay,
I'll have it
yeah,
delivered
And
by
down
a
over
truck.
here, Prospect
Unless
Street.
they water us.
Yeah, we need to start catching it with
This,
the rain
this
now.
neighbor is, what's the house number on that, 60?
This one here is 4,
Oh, that's, okay.
gotta be 4 West Street. Her name is Tina. what's her
Tina,
name?
Tina
It's on there.
like DiGiorno or Degree
I don't
DiGiorno.
need their name, I just wanted to get their.
Okay, I'm good with that, that's.
And we've
that
walked
answers my
her-
question Right there.
We've walked her through the plan.
We've
She's
walked
come
all
over
our
and we've
neighbors through
talked
it.
to her about it too, and showed her exactly what we're gonna do and,
Everybody's good with it in the neighborhood, they're all nice people.
but I know they're,
I got no problem.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay, that isn't finished.
All right, well, thank you for that. We'll make this a permanent part of the record then, of the file. And if there's no other input, no other questions, I'll accept the motion if anyone.
You want to go with the motion? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the variance for CBA case 1506 for a above-ground swimming pool, 18 feet by 52-inch depth, by 18 feet diameter, by 52-inch depth. And the addition of the proposed deck
Getting all that?
and I don't have any conditions there. Do we-
I can't think of any.
Use the motion,
Okay.
as it is.
So that's the motion.
That's the motion.
Good. Can you read it back?
Yeah, moved by Mr. Plesner to approve case 1506 for an above-ground pool measuring 18 feet in diameter and a depth of 52 inches, and the addition of the proposed deck,
Here it is.
period.
Except that you need to insert the word variance in the beginning.
Okay, yep.
Very good. Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
All right. Jerry,
Jerry.
this isn't a town meeting. You can't
All right, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He's so used to seconding that. Come here.
Fine, meetings, whatever. Thank you anyways. Appreciate that. Very well. Okay, we'll move to second. Any, all in favor, say aye.
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 Go swimming.
So do I have to come down and get a permit to put in the window or anything like that, or?
Well, from Al's perspective, I imagine you will have to get a building permit for the deck.
Okay, so I come and see Al?
Al would be the one to say.
And will Al have all this paperwork, or do I get some paperwork, or?
You'll have to show him pictures similar to what you've got here, showing what you're gonna do, and fill out the form.
Okay.
And Dari will have the record that you just drew up for us, so
okay.
if Al has to see that,
Okay,
okay? He might want some additional measurements or whatever, so if you can draw something up
Yep.
ahead of time with all the measurements.
well, he already knows what I have there, because he was there when I did my addition in
But we'll
the
do
other
an
deck, but I can
updated
draw an
one.
updated one.
I see no problem, he'd be one person to see after here.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a
Have a
great
good
night.
evening. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, folks.
Hi, Jerry.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Excuse me, Chairman.
That's it.
Is it?
Just want to try and get this
Oh, yeah.
list circulated. There's a sign-in list of folks who can sign in.
Yes, sir.
What I was getting at.
Good night, Jerry.
Night.
That requires a minimum of 3 affirmative votes. That's what we advertise. that's why the applicant gets the option of staying with it or waiting for a full board. That's why, I was wrong, you definitely three with the quorum. But
No, I know.
better aspect of it.
They all have to, they all have to go through either
Or
way.
at least three, I mean, like, when Kathy comes up here, you still need at least three affirmative votes.
she is.
I don't know, no, she said she,
Let's, are you ready to continue on?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's move ahead then. Thank you. Our second case this evening then is case number 15-07 for a special exception pursuant to zoning article Roman numeral 6, A9, to allow for the keeping of 12 chickens at 112 Winter Street, the medium residential district, tax map R26-40. Who's representing? Okay, and you are the Burks?
Yes.
Great, welcome. And, okay, we have your application here. It looks okay, looks fine. For the record, I want the record to show that at least all three of us here at present, I think you would have gone out to view the site, which is a requirement for a special exception. So that's satisfying. Okay, so we're going to raise some chickens for private use,
Yes.
non-commercial.
Right.
Okay, anything else that you have to add?
No, just, we've talked to two of the three neighbors, but the butters.
Yeah.
And, two of them said go for it. No problem.
Okay.
Third one I haven't spoken to yet.
Now, this chicken coop that you've indicated here, this is the design
Yep.
that you, okay. And that will be situated all the way at the back of your property?
Yeah.
Far in?
Yes.
And you have vegetated buffer all the way around you? And you're going to recycle the droppings?
Yep.
For lack of a better term?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, will you be raising a vegetable garden and using that as fertilizer yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's kind of important that we take care of that issue as well. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? Okay.
What is the maximum number of chickens you can keep in the scoop? Is it 12 or?
Well, that one,
Could be
it's
with
actually
heavy
made
milk.
for up to 24 chickens. That's actually two coops together, two.
Okay, so is yours going to be
6
one of these, or is this what it's going to be?
That's exactly,
That's-
that's it.
So you will have the capacity of 24?
Yeah.
Yes, but we don't
I don't
want,
want more than 12.
well,
Yeah,
We had more than 12 at one time, we're giving them away. Just a friend.
and certainly this is your intention to have any roosters.
no.
No, he's going away, he's not coming with us.
Sunday dinner?
No, there's, no, he's going
He's a tough
to a
old
new
bird.
farm.
No.
that's on my list of the roosters.
Oh, no, there'll be no rooster.
Okay.
Now, I did read in your application where sometimes they're gonna be free ranging
No, within a fenced
Within a
area.
fenced area.
within,
Yeah.
within the fenced area. Is that fenced area your entire backyard, or is
No.
it an area just back where
It's
the
just
chickens
gonna
are?
be like, it's
Would we have an additional 6 feet?
6 feet by
Yeah.
maybe
Oh.
10, you know. out
And
in
that's
front
where
of
they
it.
go, because if they go, we don't want them to eat our garden.
They eat everything.
I understand that. Another thing that I noticed, because my neighbor to the west of me also has chickens, and what kind of surprised me is although he has a 6-foot wire fence around it, they get out every day, and they go wandering all over the place. So how do you keep them from falling
They
over?
were in the road when I came down here today.
On Clark Road, yes.
Cut their flight wings,
Clip their wings.
their flight wings.
Oh, that's the key to it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah,
That's,
there's 10 feathers that you, and they can lift off the ground.
They don't get into that.
okay.
was it, if he had a little perch or something next to the fence.
Like a flutter, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
wanted to? Okay, well, my primary concern was just the fact that they didn't have to run the whole yard, the whole backyard. There she is.
At last.
We're talking about chickens, and you know about chickens.
I know about you.
See, we're hoping the chicken lady will be there in the beginning.
So let me digress on this, and once again ask if you're okay with us processing this with, well, 4 members versus 5.
I'm okay with it, yes.
Okay, yes. If there are no other questions from the board members, Kathy, you just, the processing case number 2. Okay.
Okay.
Would anyone like to speak in favor of this request? Anyone opposed? Hearing none, then we'll go back to the board again.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question for Kathy. You had chickens, how many chickens did you have?
At one time we had 12.
Well, that's the number.
And hers used to free range right around the house.
Oh yeah, they never left the yard. Always.
No, I'm just
You
curious.
didn't
how
clip
many
their
you
wings either, did you?
No. And they were more like pets than they were anything else.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
have. And that's what these are going to be too, I'm sure. They're going to steal their eggs every day.
Yeah, that's what we did. They didn't complain.
They had a vegetable garden too.
Those poor chickens must get awful frustrated. Didn't know they left an egg there, where is it? Where did it go?
Let's see.
Now, you told me there were other
Give me just
people
a
in that area that also have chickens.
Yeah, there's a lady down the road.
Closer up towards the veterans home, 2 houses down on the right.
Yeah.
It's.
Got neighbors all
Everybody
around.
wants to do it now.
I've got neighbors all around me that have chickens too. Except me, I don't have chickens. Not much chickens.
Let's have a quick look at the special exception criteria, just to make sure we've covered everything.
Okay, good plan.
We got, the site is correct. No factual evidence found that property values will be reduced. No valid objection from the butters, no nuisance or hazards should be involved. Adequate appropriate facilities provided for proper operation, yep. No sewage involved. I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything required.
Any other discussion then?
There's gonna be no roosters, right?
No.
I got that first off.
Yeah, we got roosters once.
We had one. He's going to do another farm.
Good plan.
Yeah, we covered that rooster issue. Okay, very well. Then, the chair will entertain a motion if we care to do that. Anyone?
I'm gonna let you do the motion.
You do that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the special exception application for case 15-07 to allow for the keeping of 12 chickens at 112 Winter Street in the medium residential district as requested. Only condition would be no roosters. And I only add these because what you may say here tonight, being as a special exception goes into place, should you move and someone else come in, they need to understand what the rule was. too.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's the reason for these kind of conditions. And there will be no storage of the waste associated with them, that it will be
No.
processed into the
A
garden
compost
area.
tumbler and then right into the ground.
Okay. Okay, so just those 2 conditions would be good. And,
Sounds good. Did you get all that, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Can you read it back?
Yeah, sure. Moved by Mr. Plesner to approve special exception for case 1507 to allow for the keeping of 12 chickens with the condition that no roosters be kept and that no open storage of waste be undertaken.
Excellent. Did you miss anything? Do I hear a second?
Second?
Very well. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Good to go.
Thank you.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with that. Hope your neighbors enjoy some fresh eggs.
They will.
They're the best.
Thank you.
Do we need a break or are you all set? Everyone good?
I've only been in this for 35 minutes, but you're doing great.
All right.
All right. Is the applicant here for case number 1508? Okay, 1508 is a variance application. Case number 1508 is a variance application pursuant to zoning article 7 to allow subdivision of one lot into two, each with 129 feet of frontage at 645 Laconia Road in the Resort Commercial District, tax map U2 at slant 43.
Good evening. My name is Tim Bernier, a surveyor working for the Shalimar Resort Corp. On the project. The Spanos are here as well. They are the owners of the corporation, the property. What they'd like to do, they own this existing tract, about 2.5, a little over 2.5 acres. And they'd like to subdivide it in half to allow for 2 camps, but they're a little short on frontage. So we're asking for relief to allow lots to have one lot has 129.27, and the other is 129.26. Split it in half, I don't know the number, but where 150 feet is required. The site's located in a neighborhood of some pretty intense development. To the north or to the east up here, we have Winnisquam Resort condominiums. There's 15 units there, and they average right now with 336 feet of road frontage, and 15 units, it's 22 feet per unit. So we're at 129, they're at 22. To the south down here is Phillips House Cottages. This property has 570 feet of road frontage, but several lots were subdivided off the lake, and all of those lots and the cottages all use that 570 feet of frontage. So all total, there's 15 units there. So that's 1 unit for 38 feet of frontage. So gives you some idea.
I thought their cottages only had like 100 feet of water frontage.
Water
Oh, I'm
frontage.
sorry, okay,
No,
I'm
road
thinking, okay.
frontage. Yeah, that's the other side of it. I did run that just from a comparison standpoint. Obviously with waterfront property, making sure there's adequate waterfront for everybody. Here we have 118 feet. I split that right in the middle, 118.4 feet for each one of these lots. For Winnisquam Resort, it has 330 feet of frontage on the lake, so that works out to 22 feet of lake frontage versus 118. And then Phillips House is very small, so it's just about 8 feet per unit of lake frontage for the Phillips House project. They have very little frontage. They subdivided all the lots off the lake. Across the street, directly across the street is the hotel. It's a 40-unit resort hotel. So the units around here are very dense, and what we're proposing is one single-family detached residence on 1.38 acres. So it's going to be one of the least dense lots.
What's going to be in the other lot?
What's that?
What's going to be in the other lot?
They'll both be single-family detached.
What about the septic systems that went over there for the motel?
They're all abandoned. Everything's
They're
connected
still
to
there?
the sewer. They're still there, but abandoned in place.
So we have municipal sewage on the lots.
Yeah, yeah, municipal sewer connection's already all set right there. The best, yeah, there's nothing wrong with abandoning a septic in place.
No, they could just, as long as they noted on the,
Yeah.
on the plan.
What is that, what is that, this other camp that's,
That
what-
seems to be
what is that
encroaching
gonna-
on your property.
Yeah, that was discovered, how long ago was that?
Just last year.
Last year. And what they just did was grant an easement for that, to allow that, his deck to stay.
What about the,
there's an access road to it there?
No, that's blocked off, that's
Okay.
barricaded there.
Yeah,
I think
there's
it
like
used to
big
go-
box.
A very large boulder there.
Yeah.
Making it
Doesn't go through
impassable
anymore.
from
It
the
did at
side.
some point.
so that's just a driveway now for this?
For them, for not, has not.
No, this lot you have? No,
Correct.
Yes, we have a
Just the
driveway.
We have a
Your
paved
driveway.
driveway going down to
Yes.
the water.
Sorry,
tower.
yeah.
And they'll share that because of the road, they'll share that driveway for both houses. We'll have one common point of access and it'll split. The two septics are, one's here, one's here, it's a two-step septic. So they'll share the driveway coming in order, because the state's not gonna let another curb cut because the road's so busy.
Right.
And we'll come down and split it, and we'll go to serve the two
So
houses.
that'll be an easement to
Yeah. And they're gonna share, what we're gonna do is, because it's quite a hill, we're going to put a lift station in between the two, and there will be a sewer easement. So there'll be one pump line that goes up and they'll share it.
So the homes will be further down the hill?
Yeah, the homes will be on the lake, whatever's permissible, we'll have to get, for the construction of those, we'll need a shoreline.
Okay, is there any, what we're being asked to approve here tonight, that's what we're seeing here right now, is that the way it's gonna be presented to the planning board? So, there's nothing at this point in time that you think might get changed relative to it?
No, I can say that we have been working through a boundary issue. The condominium plan for Philip's house showed a pretty major angle point here. It came down to the end of the stone wall and then just banged it right across. Frank Yerkes, the surveyor for them, put a bunch of notes on the plan about something. I looked at the deeds, and the deed said it was a straight line from the road all the way to the lake. I took the deeds all the way back, so I called Frank to find out what his thoughts were. And there were some claims, he said that his client was claiming adverse possession or something, but it wasn't in the deed. So we're going with the deed, but there's 14 feet in here that is different between Frank's plan and what we came up with, 10 to 14 feet of frontage.
I do know from my past experience that there's always been controversial down there on the water for them, and there was some significant legal activities relative to it in the past. So as far as what happens down there, I mean, it's just what we're looking at here now, assuming that it won't change because of whatever they might come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, adverse possession claims really have to go through a court as a quiet title action. It's nothing the surveyor can do, it's really gotta be a court that confirms that.
Sure.
So, what we did was, I used the best boundary determination, a legitimate interpretation, and did the best I could. The stone wall does take a slight angle and point, so I took advantage of that because New Hampshire stone walls for boundaries are very, they have the weight of a natural boundary. We met with the president of the condominium association, and I set a pin there, and said, this is where I think it goes. And he understood, all of the issues with that. He thought it was good to set it, so now they know, because nothing was said. Frank wouldn't say anything. Because
Which condominium association are you talking about?
the Phillips house.
The Phillips, oh, okay.
So now there's a pin there, so everybody can look at it and decide what they want to do.
But that doesn't have any bearing on what we're doing, does it?
Well, no, we're talking, this is where we need the relief.
Exactly.
True, but the thing is, I'm getting, what was brought up to me is that if whatever we approve gets changed when it goes before the planning board, then that changes what the variance has been given to at this point. In other words, we will be, if we give the variance, it'll be for what we're seeing here. Okay, the frontages that are shown.
Right, the frontages won't change.
Yes, and that's
But
really
it
all
will
we're,
change.
that's all we're really
Will
looking
not
at.
change. court changes it, of course, they don't really care about anybody but themselves.
Uh,
Make a ruling and that's it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They don't care about zoning
Petition
or.
for quiet title or something like that, they do whatever they think, I don't want to do.
So that,
Okay.
that's the proposal. Be happy to answer any questions, and I guess the owners are here.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, I don't have any. Anybody on the board? Anybody would like to speak in favor?
Not necessarily in favor, I'm one of the abutters of
Oh.
Phillips House.
If you're not speaking in favor, that's what I'm asking for.
Okay.
If there's nobody speaking in favor, anybody opposed? Are you opposed?
No.
Just, okay.
Couple questions.
Go ahead.
That's all. Not
So you're
opposed.
neutral.
Just
That's
trying to-
fine. That's not a category I was gonna go to, but go for it.
Just trying to, we're, again, I can only speak for myself, but I know two other owners here, we're just trying to understand. We have talked to Craig, so we pretty much understand what the issue is with the boundary, and that's no bearing on this, we understand that. The one thing I did want to question is there aren't 15 units in the Phillips house, there's only 8. So.
Right,
it's-
the parent tract has 570 feet of frontage. There were lots subdivided off the lake frontage with only a right-of-way,
Correct.
so the frontage actually serves those lots as well as Phillips House.
I just wanted, yeah,
Yeah.
there's only 8 that are truly Phillips House cottages.
Sorry if
Thank you.
No problem, that was just one of the questions, so. I just wanted to, again, understand, and thank you for clarifying a lot of it. Again, I'm not opposed to just trying to understand
Sure.
what's going on.
I understand.
We're aware of the issue last Saturday, so just basically here trying to understand where we're at with that stuff. But again, what I'm trying to understand tonight is strictly to address the frontage is what this is for tonight.
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to understand.
Great.
Okay.
Very well. Thanks for asking. Mark, on else? Okay. All right, let's look over the variance information here, criteria. Item number 1. Granting the variance would not be contrary to public interest. And they say, as demonstrated herein, the use is consistent with the density in the neighborhood, less intense than historical use of the property, and in compliance with NHDES requirements. You be working with DES?
Oh, we'll
Or
need
have you already started?
We're working on the plans, we need a shoreline permit for the houses, for the house construction.
Okay.
Because it's municipal sewer, we don't need subdivision.
Yeah, if it was septic systems, you would.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. Second was a variance. If variance is granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed. And their answer is the ordinance is established to create fair continuity and like uses within a neighborhood, which granting this proposal will accomplish. The third item, granting a variance would do substantial justice because all of the abutting uses are more densely developed than the proposal before the board. Allowing the subdivision of these lots would result in the least densely developed lots in the neighborhood that do substantial justice. If the variance were granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished because, and the answer was, the newly created lots would have less density than the surrounding properties, with a less intense use of abutting properties and historical use of the subject property. Abutting properties may increase in value as a result of this project. Hardship. No fair or substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property because the ordinance is intended to create uniform neighborhoods consisting of like uses and density. The proposal will establish residential lots similar to the surrounding area with less density. The second part of that, the proposed use is a reasonable one because proposed lots meet or exceed all other state and local requirements for residential house lots and will have less density than abutting uses. And finally, explain how the criteria in subparagraphs A are not, explain how, if the criteria in subparagraph A above are not established, an unnecessary hardship will be deemed to exist if and only if, owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, the property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. Your answer is the property is located between two non-conforming high-density condominium developments. These intense uses limit the functional value of the property as a single lot. Do you folks find those acceptable?
I do. I've read over them and everything seems to fit quite well into the requirements.
So if there's no other input or questions or whatever, I'll close to public sentiment at this time and return back to the board for discussion. We need one? We need one? No, Kathy, shake your head, no. Are you all set?
I am all set.
Very well.
I was gonna let George make the motion this time.
All right, I'll entertain a motion if you guys are all set.
I make a motion that we approve ZBA case 15-8, variance application for 645 Laconia Road, as presented.
I say just to add to it, to allow for the subdivision of one lot into two.
Is that acceptable to you?
That's acceptable.
With 129 feet of frontage, that's the frontage.
Correct. That does not change.
Our scribe is writing as fast as he can.
Moved by Mr. Hellwig to approve case 1508 for variance to allow for subdivision of one lot into two, each with road frontage of 129 feet.
Yeah, we don't need the .27. That's what I would think of.
You want me to
Sounds
put it
good?
up?
I think you got it all, sir. All right. At this point then, if there's no other changes, all in favor, say aye.
Give it a second.
Oh, I
I'll
haven't had a
second it.
second, did I? Sorry. Do I have a second?
That's great.
I'll
Who
second.
seconded it? Thank you.
Can't do it.
I'm losing it. All right. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Go for it.
Thank you.
Now, I assume this subdivision, this doesn't have anything to do with it. This subdivision is considered a simple subdivision, right? So, you don't look at the,
Minor subdivision.
right, a minor, one into two.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thanks for going through the, I was at a ZBA meeting last week, and the chairman refused to go through the criteria for the variance. Even when one of the board members asked him, he said, no, we don't need to do that. Just say,
Really?
You can have it. Wow.
So it's a planning board?
No, the zoning board.
You guys want over?
And he wouldn't, just no, we don't need to do it.
Yeah, so. Plenty space.
He's never been in Superior Court, obviously.
Thank you.
Nice job, Jim.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Peter, have you met our neighbors?
Marvel, man. Before I haven't seen you, you haven't been up this year, have you?
Yep, I was up, I think I just missed you because I came up last Saturday, Craig said he talked to you in the morning.
Okay, you must be.
Oh, I know he talked to you.
Yeah.
I came up with it, so.
How are you?
Hi, good, how are you doing? Very good neighbors.
Yep.
We have, we're
Good to see
right
you.
next door to his house.
Be careful what it was.
Yeah.
Was it a
We have
spell
noticed,
year?
I sent it to him.
No, it was just
our
question where
kids
it
would
was
sell
furnished.
us before they would ever sell the property.
Yeah.
For clarification.
It's not like we're gonna build it and sell them, we're gonna be
All right,
there.
I'll give you-
You know, we're happy there's a resort company.
No,
don't. We don't, the
No,
density.
We've done that.
There's
Done that for
some
31 years.
buffer
We're not-
over there.
We're not doing that anymore.
Kids are still trying to.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out, I mean, until last week, we didn't.
We're trying to
know
figure it all out right
figure
now.
out what's going
Guys got a full board now?
Yeah.
Do you guys have our number?
on. I knew
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no reason for 5 unless we're 6.
But you know what, but you can, but you can.
We had to get all section into the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we
I mean, when we.
Maybe I sucked his life into the
Yeah, probably that tissue read.
We did a good job on the planning board. I know when James was running that.
Mary Ann, on the second page, there's really a minor thing, but it really shouldn't be said this way.
That's happened to me.
Where it says,
before.
Chairman
I know the
Plesner
feeling.
reviewed the applicant's written explanation of how he felt each of the 5 variance criteria had been met. And it's not a question of how I felt.
No, how the, okay, I meant the applicant felt. Yeah, so Chair reviewed the applicant's written explanation of how,
Board review.
How the
yeah, it's in, I mean,
I don't see anything wrong with that.
yeah, I think,
It's not a question of how I feel.
no, it's, but the applicant is the closest word to it, so.
You're referring to Mr. Obey's written explanation, right?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Board reviewed Mr. Obey's written explanation of how he felt each of the special.
Well, you're looking at page 2. Yeah, you're looking at the next page, but it's the same issue.
it's the same thing, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's not only a question of how I felt.
That's not what I wrote. That's not what it says. It says Chairman Plester reviewed the applicant's written explanation of how he felt. I mean, clearly,
Oh,
if I could have written it better, and
Oh, I
I'll
see
make
that.
that edit.
Yeah,
but
you're right,
yeah,
you're right, you're right.
F for grammar.
Thank you. So a better way for me to have written it would have been, Chairman Plessner reviewed the applicant's written explanation of how the applicant felt, maybe. The reason, someone would say, well, just get rid of the felt part and make it simple, but I want to make clear that this is the applicant's thoughts on how the
I don't remember that
well,
happening.
that's, but you're saying that on, when you say review the applicant's written explanation.
yeah.
I don't remember this
Okay.
happening that way.
I,
Why would you ask the applicant how he felt about his
I
own
didn't,
explanation?
I just read them just like you did. But with the way it's written in here, it almost gives the impression.
Why don't we just take that how he felt
We can do
out
that.
of there?
Written
Yep.
application.
Of
Written
how,
out.
Each of
explanation.
the 5 various,
Yeah.
yeah.
How the
okay,
applicant presented it.
okay. That's fine.
Oh, okay, now I get your point now.
Yeah.
Explanation of the 5 variance criteria. That's how it happened.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember you asking him how he felt about it at all.
No, that's not what I wrote. That's not what that says. It says, it doesn't matter. We'll make, yeah.
Minor-
We love giving you a rough time. Why did you write up?
I could just see someone in the future reading, I go, boy, was he an arrogant.
Who is this guy anyways? We say that anyway, Joe, don't worry. Any other corrections to the minutes? Do I hear a motion to
I give you
approve?
a motion to accept the minutes
Second?
with that one minor exception to be corrected.
As edited? As, whatever. Yeah, as edited?
Yeah, as edited, that's good, I like that.
As amended? As edited?
Amended,
I'll
okay,
second
I
it.
like that too.
Your choice, edited or amended?
All right.
Are we
Do
sure
we have a
have
motion seconded by George? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor of leaving?
Aye.
Aye. Very well.
Yeah.
No,
So I didn't mean, I see what you're saying there. It's confusing, the
You
language.
wanted to switch that up?
I didn't mean to argue.
But you wrote it down, the language would be carried on in conversation.
Right, right.
That was the-
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, no problem.
Came out a little squirrel.
And then I'm going to leave this